definitely disappointing. The objective is to win. We didn't win. I thought, after about a quarter and a half, we were pretty competitive, but, the start was, I don't have to tell anybody. Anybody who saw it knows it was, from the jump, I thought they were on their toes, coming straight at us, and we were on our heels backing up, and they took advantage. Starting defensively, we were poor, missed rotations, lacked communication, and every time they were open, the shots went in. And so I think you tip your cap to them. After that, we played better, but still not good enough. And it's just going to be a process. I think what you saw was some youth and inexperience, get run over pretty quickly by a team that starts 4 seniors and won their league last year. I'm pretty sure they won the regular season championship in their league and returned everybody but one. So that's a good team. I think we have to keep that in mind, but still doesn't mean we should play that poorly. So starting with me, we just got to get better. Well, I think we were much better defensively the first 2 games than we were tonight. I mean, there were blown coverages all over the place tonight. The first 2 games, we were pretty competitive at the defensive end, which kept us in the game. I think, at St. Joe's, they had 25 at the half, and that's a really, really good team at the A-10 level. They had 27 at the end of the first quarter tonight. So, Virginia Tech, same thing. We were very competitive defensively. So tonight, I'll have to look at the film closely to see what the specifics are, but, it was just from the jump. The shell shock was immediate, and we looked like we were dazed immediately, and then didn't really get out of it until it was probably too late. It's 27-5. So we talked about just trying to split the game up a little bit. I think it was a 17-point lead at half. The idea of, hey, let's go come back from a 17-point lead or 17-point deficit. That's such a big thing to try to. 17, that's a big number. So we really said we wanted to try to cut into the lead by 4 or 5 points by the media timeout, try to get another 4 or 5 points by the end of the third quarter. We felt like if we could get it to 10 to start the fourth quarter, we were in good enough shape that we could, put a run on at the end. I think we got it to 8 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. A couple things didn't go our way. I think we might have, missed a layup, or they hit a 3, just and it quick got back to 15. And then at that point, it kind of felt like we had given our last best shot, and didn't know if we had enough left to come back. But, I do want to give our kids credit. They did not hang their heads. I think, we didn't have to scream and yell. Like, everybody could see the scoreboard. There was a united disappointment. So we didn't talk much about that. We really just talked about, forget that, let's start over, and let's win the next 4 or 5 minutes, and then let's win the 4 or 5 minutes after that. And I thought, through the third quarter and then the beginning of the fourth, we did a good job with that. So hopefully that's a good sign. It's hard to say. I'm really, really high on their talent. I think their talent level is really good. Like all freshmen, there's so much, starting with just language. Like, it's a completely new language, and then the detail with which we try to do everything at both ends. Almost, foot by foot on the court, there's detail to everything that we do. It's overwhelming. And that's not just us. That's college basketball. It's details. And so you can see it. They're spinning a little bit. We expect that. We know we have to play through some of their mistakes. But we feel like if we want to be competitive in the Patriot League by January and February, that we need those mistakes to happen now so that we can learn from them. And, so that's what we're doing. It won't be the last night. We need them to play. We need them to get experience. And with that is going to come some mistakes. But they're talented. They're eventually going to be very, very good.
They all come here with a good pedigree.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're good players, and they're good kids, and they're working hard, and I don't have any doubts about what the future holds. It's just a matter of when, and you can't predict that. You'd love it to be tomorrow. It's not going to be. But can we speed it up enough? Can we get them prepared enough to where we get to January, February, March, where they're making maybe 6 or 8 or 10 mistakes, we cut that down to 2 or 3. Because right now at both ends, it seems like we have at least one mistake every possession at both ends. We're not completely tied together with everybody accomplishing their specific objective all at the same time. Everybody's doing things right, but there seems to always be one mistake somewhere, and we're not quite to the position where we can fix those mistakes yet. And it showed against a veteran team like this. We made a mistake, they made a basket.
Coming up Saturday, right?
Yeah, it is Saturday at their place, so on the road again, which road games are always tough no matter what, but I would say just for us locking it a little bit more on the scout and starting on defense, because, I mean, if we don't score much like we did on offense in the first quarter, we can't afford to give up 27 points. We just have to lock in on defense, and I think just being able to know the scout a little better and Gardner, man, I think that'll help a lot against Cornell. And not taking them for granted. I mean, we don't take any team for granted, but of course when you go play Virginia Tech and then you come, you're like a little breathing room from Virginia Tech since, Power 5 school and everything. But I think we got to treat every team like Virginia Tech. I said before the game, I thought we competed and played well against Virginia Tech, and I said if we compete and play like that, like, we can do great things as a team. So I think just going back to that, because we proved that we can play and compete with a high Power 5 team, and I think we can keep that going forward.
Well, no different. I mean, everybody we play is going to pose different challenges. They certainly will. We've started our work on those in the background. We'll dive headfirst in tomorrow, tonight actually, and then certainly in the morning. But there's, because of our situation, our youth, our inexperience, and where we're at in our development, every night's going to be a challenge. And so Saturday will be the next one, and our motto has kind of been the same, like, let's just embrace the process, understand there are going to be challenges, let's try to get a little bit better every day. It's hard to do. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do, to show up every single day. So we'll continue to push. We'll, just got to keep the group together, because by the end, we're going to be fine. We just got to keep the group together and moving forward.